Hi, it's Johanna and welcome to my channel. Today I thought I would pull out my, there's 4 free samples. I think they're in a 2 milliliter vial here that I got with my order recently from Olympic Orchids Artisan Perfumes. I always forget the last part of their name, but Olympic Orchids Artisan Perfumes. This one's called Mardi Gras. And I did try, I think, each of these on separately over the last few days, but I don't remember specifics, and I didn't follow them over time because it was kind of near bedtime. But right now I just put on this finger here a dab of the one called Golden Cattleya. Maybe it's Cattleya, and maybe that's the name of a flower. It might be the name of an orchid. There's a little stick that comes out, see? And then I did dab it on there. I'll leave it to continue to dry down. But what I first noticed when I smelled it out, when it was wet, is a very, very sweet golden color of florals, sweet florals. It's just like the sweet florals, not sharp, sweet, medium kind of vibration of some sort. It's still got a lot of realistic florals here. This has been about 10 minutes drying down. So I don't know, I'll probably look at the notes in a little bit regarding this one, but I think it's sort of old-fashioned. It's sentimental. It smells sentimental, which to me means that it might have ylang ylang in it, because that triggers a sentimentality. So does tuberose, but to a different extent. I'm pretty sure it's called golden because it does have yellow florals in it. I just pulled out Fragrantica listing here for Golden Cattleya. The main accords, I'm surprised. Vanilla, it's the very top. Right below that is sweet. I didn't detect vanilla. Honey, citrus, amber, powdery, yellow floral, white floral, musky, and woody. It's dense. It was launched in 2010, and the nose behind the fragrance is Ellen Covey. And the notes. This is just delicious to look at, these pictures, because my eyes just glanced down and saw cream soda and this gorgeous glass of frothy beverage here. But first is listed white honey, cream soda, vanilla, narcissus, orange, African orange flower, amber, musk, French labdanum, sandalwood. Well, you have to want a floral fragrance. And right now, I'm not super into it. I'm going through a phase where I'm kind of exploring some other more like outdoorsy types of scents and fruits. I like fruits. So I love that there's orange in here. I like it that the narcissus, that's a name for daffodil. I don't know that daffodil has a scent, so it may be a fantasy note. I'm not sure. It may have an absolute that's available. Narcissus might have an absolute. So I'm not sure how it smells, but I think it's not a soft floral. It's kind of something that has some other texture aspect to it. And African orange flower, that's going to be sweet. Yes, and so this is an amber fragrance. And yeah, it's not overly old-fashioned because they didn't put anything too animalic in here, and there's no castoreum. So this is not that type of fragrance. It's kind of like if you wanted this is it. If you want an old-fashioned fragrance, I'm thinking Salvador Dali, the one that was released in 2000 with the golden dress on, and it looks like with the level of the fragrance is a yellow, it makes it look like her dress is wherever the level of the fragrance is in that nice, gorgeous sculptural bottle. So I can't remember that one. It's a Dali Flora, I think. Dali Flora, possibly. And that one is got some animalic aspects to it, but this one, even though this was released in 2010, I believe, this one is done non-animalic, but there are these classic floral aspects to this fragrance. Now I'm following up. It's been about an hour since I last smelled this, and I'm not saying it's been an hour since I smelled it. It's been an hour since I told you about it. So it has been smelling very much like vanilla and neroli. And African orange flower is similar but the same, not the same as neroli. And so I've used neroli, I've used orange flower, and it has the smell when it's with vanilla. So it's drawing down to the orange blossom or the orange flower and the African orange flower and vanilla and amber. Yeah, so it's an amber fragrance. It's amber based. It has labdanum as well, and that's part of the amber accord. And so this is an amber floral fragrance, non-animalic. The narcissus apparently is triggering for me sentimentality, nostalgia, and that would make sense because daffodils were around very much in my childhood growing up, so it is triggering nostalgia as well. I'm going to add that to the list of notes that trigger that feeling of nostalgia for me. There aren't many florals in here besides the African orange flower and the narcissus, so this is a realistic smelling fragrance for only having those few like floral notes to them. I think it's beautiful, but I don't find it interesting. I don't find this fragrance interesting, and I would not be rating. I don't rate fragrances, but I wouldn't be interested in this fragrance, but I guess it serves a role. I would say it would be a role of a woman who may want to go dress up. Who dresses up these days? I don't know. No one dresses up. It seems there's no opportunities. People dress down, comfortable. Anyway, if you wanted to dress up or elevate yourself, go to a fancy place or feel luxurious, and you wanted to maybe bare your shoulders, I'm thinking, you might want to spray something like this on. It's romantic. It's a romantic floral amber fragrance. Hope you enjoyed my impressions, and feel free to drop your own comments as well down below. And I look forward to seeing what people have to say. Maybe people will start to get samples from this house, and that would be cool. I still have not met or spoken to the owner, but I will tell you, as a very small, like, kind of wannabe perfumer, want to sell my perfumes and want to like do all that, I empathize with her in like her choices of packaging, not doing atomizer samples. It's a choice that you make because you're investing in your business, and probably her business isn't making a ton of money. This is a labor of love, and so it wasn't always right. She had to put in capital, so she is just making choices here, and she's making this choice to use this dabber that's inside the vial, even though it's tricky to open these things when you have big hands. I know, and maybe even me, I'm clumsy. So if it were me, I think I would try and get some kind of atomizer sprayer to send the samples in. I love it when people send free samples. I think they always should. In fact, I have no idea why they're not liberally giving out samples of designer fragrances or fragrances that are in like bigger stores, because people need to have a sample or they're not going to be happy. It's just a weird thing going on in the marketing that's choosing not to. They're choosing to portray something in the advertising, like with models, paid models and actors, portray all of this regarding this fragrance you can't smell, and then Maybe you can smell it in a magazine if you can get your hands on one these days, but you're not ever getting to test this fragrance. You buy it and you're set up for confusion at how it's so different from what they portrayed. Sometimes it's really harsh, that feeling of confusion and being let down and disappointed. And then you got to decide what you're going to do with that fragrance. Do you keep it and keep trying to use it and enjoy it? Or do you pass it on to someone else because you're that disappointed, you know? I think that's better to have information. So I'm glad when these fragrance houses send samples. Fine. If this is the biggest sample you want to give for free, I'm fine with it. It's free, right? It's free. It's her choice. And she's choosing to represent herself with her actual fragrances, not with some ads that she's putting out, right? I doubt it. I highly doubt she's putting out ads. She wants to speak for herself. She wants her quality to show through enough that she can get by and maybe, you know, have control of her business. She doesn't necessarily want it to go public, you know? You should probably be more interested in keeping your business, like, have a personality to it, or like a person aspect to it, instead of just making it public and then it's a corporation or something.